Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gopinath, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Gopinath, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadramai. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परिभंसिकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शीला प्रभुपाद की इसका उन्फन आचार्य शीला प्रभुपाद की नाम आचार्य शिला हरिदास ठाकुर की ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So welcome to this morning Bhagavatam class. So today we are reciting the verse from Canto 4, Chapter 11. The title Swayambhuva Manu advises Dhruva Maharaj. And the text one, number 31. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 31. Please repeat for me. Samyacharo sambhadram te pratipam shriyasam param Shrutena bhuyasa rajan Agadena yatamayam Samyacharo sambhadram te Pratipam shreyasam param Shrutena bhuyasa rajan Agadena yatamayam Samyacharo sambhadram te Pratipam shreyasam param Shrutena bhuyasa rajan Agadena yatamayam. Prabhuji. Samyacharo sambhadram che Pratipam shreyasam param Shrutena bhuyasa rajan Agadena yatamayam. Samyacharo sambhadram te Pratipam shreyasam param Shrutena bhuyasa rajan Agadena yatamayam. Samyacharo sambhadram te Pratipam shreyasam param Shrutena bhuyasa rajan Agadena yatamayam. Word to word meaning. Samyacha, just control. Rosham, anger. Bhadram, all good fortune. Te, to you. Pratipam, enemy. Shreyasam, of all goodness. Param, the foremost. Shrutena, by hearing, Bhuyasa, constantly, Rajan, my dear king, Agadena, by medicinal treatment, Yata, as, Amayam, disease. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation, please repeat. My dear king, just consider what I have said to you, which will act as medicinal treatment upon disease. Control your anger, for anger is the foremost enemy on the path of spiritual realization. I wish all good fortune for you. Please follow my instructions. Purport. Dhruva Maharaj was a liberated soul, and actually he was not angry with anyone, but because he was the ruler, it was his duty to become angry for some time in order to keep the law and order in the state. His brother Uttama was without fault, yet he was killed by one of Yaksha. It was the duty of Dhruva Maharaja to kill the offender, life for life, because Dhruva was the king. When the challenge came, Dhruva Maharaj fought vehemently and punished the Yaksha sufficiently. But anger is such that if one increases it, it increases unlimitedly. In order that Dhruva Maharaja's kingly anger not exceeded the limit, Manu was kind enough to check this grandson. Dhruva Maharaja could understand the purpose of his grandfather, and he immediately stopped the fighting. The word Shrutena Bhuyasa, by constantly hearing, are very important in this verse. By constantly hearing about the devotional service, one can check the force of anger, which is determinantal to the process of devotional service. Srila Parikshit Maharaj said that constant hearing of the pastimes of the Lord is the penance for all material disease. Everyone, therefore, should be hear about the Supreme Personality of Godhead constantly. By hearing, one can always remain in equilibrium, and thus his progress in spiritual life will not be hampered. Dhruva Maharaja's becoming angry with the miscreants was quite appropriate. There is a short story in this connection about the snake who became a devotee upon instructions by Narada, who instructed him not to bite anymore. Since ordinarily a snake's business is to fatally bite other living entities, as a devotee he was forbidden to do so. Unfortunately, people took advantage of this non-violence on the part of the snake, especially the children, who began to throw some stones at him. He did not bite anyone, however, because it was the instruction of his spiritual master. After a while, when the snake met his spiritual master, Narada, he complained, I have given up the bad habit of biting innocent living entities, but they are mistreating me by throwing stones at me. Upon hearing this, Narada Muni instructed him, don't bite, but do not forget to expand your hood, as if you were going to bite. Then they will go away. Similarly, a devotee is always non-violent. He is qualified with all good characteristics, but in the common world, whether there is a mischief made by others, you should not forget to become angry, at least for the time being, in order to drive away the miscreants. Let's do Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे। Hare Krishna. So we are continuing the pastimes of Dhruva Maharaj from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, chapter. Currently we are in chapter 11. So just if you revise what all had happened in this pastime so far. So Dhruva Maharaj was humiliated by his stepmother, and his mother told to go to forest and pray for Vishnu. And then Dhruva Maharaj went to forest, and he got that after doing severe austerity tapasya for 6 months, he got darshan of Vishnu. And then he came back to his kingdom to his father. And Lord Vishnu told that, okay, you after some time ruling the world for around 36,000 years, plus, so you will go back to the Dhruva Loka. That's what the instructions Lord Vishnu conveyed to Dhruva Maharaj. And Dhruva Maharaj came back to the kingdom, his kingdom, and he became a king after some time. Then he was ruling nicely, and then his brother Uttama was killed by Yaksha. And since he is a king, he has to take care of all the citizens. Particularly his family member was died by Yaksha, so he got very angry and he started fight with Yakshas. Then he killed so many Yakshas. Then one Yaksha killed his brother, but in retaliation he was killing so many Yakshas. Then his grandfather Swayambhuva Manu came, and he was giving all the instructions to Dhruva Maharaj to pacify him, to control his anger, so that he will come back to normal. So in this verse, if you see that Swayambhuva Manu was telling that, just consider I have said to you, which will act as a medicinal treatment upon disease. Control your anger, for anger is the foremost enemy on the path of spiritual realization. I wish all good fortune for you. Please follow my instructions. So in this verse, Swayambhuva Manu is telling again and again, please follow my instruction, right? Control your anger, come back to your normal sense, and continue your devotional service. So the translation is talking about the significance on the anger. If you don't control your anger, you will not be able to progress in your path of realization. So you cannot continue in the path of bhakti. When the purport Prabhupada nicely continued the same theme about the anger. He was giving the remedy, how we can control the anger in the purport. Like there are many instructions, we'll go in detail, but to start with, so he mentioned continual hearing the Krishna Katha, the devotional Bhagavad scriptures. Krishna Katha continuously hear. When you constantly hear, your mind will be, it will be calm and composed. Then you will be able to overcome the anger. So there are many in line to this purport and the Swayambhuva Manu instructions. We'll try to spend some time on this anger. So there are many references in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam where we hear more frequently about the anger. So today also we'll spend about anger and how we can control your anger in line to this purport. So see, when initially we all were in the spiritual world, and we came down to this material world based on our desire. When we came to this material world as a material living entity, Krishna made all the arrangements. He created. See, when you are in spiritual world, what was your mood? Like as mentioned in the 934, like you always constantly thinking about Krishna, constantly serving to Krishna. You are always thinking about Krishna and serving Krishna in spiritual world. But with that consciousness, even though you got a desire to enjoy material world, if you come down to the material world, you cannot with that consciousness, you cannot still you will be thinking about Krishna. You cannot enjoy materially. So Krishna created this material world with all the three modes of material nature and all the material elements. With that, when you enter, you will forget Krishna, you will enjoy. Without forgetting Krishna, you cannot enjoy this one, right? So he created all, but at the same time, he gave all the action plan to go back to Godhead. He created scriptures. He created gurus. He was arranging spiritual master. He made all the action plan. So again, in the Bhagavad Gita, if you follow the instructions, you will know what you have to do to go back to Godhead. But in reality, what is happening? We became conditioned. We got all the instructions, but we take, because of our free will, we take the instructions which we like, which we would like to follow, and ignoring all the instructions. As a result, what is happening in our mind? We are not able to think about Krishna. We are not able to serve Krishna properly. We are not able to meditate on consciously thinking of, we are not able to do. What is the reason? There is a huge traffic jam in our heart. What kind of traffic jam? If you see in the morning time when we see this road full of vehicles standing near the signal, what everything is trying to go to CBD. In the evening also you see all the vehicles coming, lining up to come out of the CBD after finishing work. Same way, our heart is filled with so much traffic jam. What are the traffic jam? What are the elements causing the traffic jam? Lust, anger, greed, kama, kroha, lobha, moha, mada, machari. All these things are causing traffic jam. Because of that, our initial consciousness, which we wanted to serve Krishna, which we wanted to think about Krishna, which we want the service we are planning to do, we are not able to do. All these things are coming, taking precedence. Kama, kroha, lobha, and our devotional is staying back. So this is causing this is the issue. Because of all these things, you can see as a result, kama, krodha, lobha, anger is there, right? So all these elements causing our deterioration in the path of bhakti. So if you have to remember Krishna, what should be our mindset? We should be calm and composed. When you are agitated, you are anger mood, you will not be able to remember Krishna. You are completely, your mind and focus will be different when you get anger. But if you have to remember Krishna, if you want to chant Krishna, you need to be calm and composed. So, like if you see Krishna deals with devotees in 5 different rasas. That Madhurya rasa is the topmost and the Shanta rasa is the lowest one, the start with. So, unless we come to the Shanta rasa, then we can evaluate, right? We cannot start our bhakti. That is the lowest level of the different rasas, right? If we are in the anger mode, we will not be able to get the Shanta rasa, right? We cannot come into the mood of Shanta rasa and then we can do the service. So, anger will, as a result, what will happen? We cannot progress in the path of bhakti. So, this is the impact of anger. We could see many pastimes, like 4 Kumaras, when they were trying to take darshan of Vishnu in the Vaikunta. Jai Vijay stopped them and 4 Kumaras got anger. And they said, your boss, your Lord is so kind to Brahmanas and you are not following the instructions in line to your boss. So, and then they got anger and they started cursing 4 Kumaras. And same thing, we have many other examples like Parikshit Maharaj and Shringi. The little boy Brahmana, he got very angry because the Parikshit Maharaj insulted his father Shamik Rishi. So, and same thing in the case of Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni. Ambarish, very small things, he was, Parikshit Maharaj, Durvasa Muni got very anger. So, these are various, when they are getting the anger, so they will be able to, out of control, they will not be able to control their mind, they will do all abominable activities which are not suitable for them. Right? So, then who gets angry? It's not that people only bad people get angry. Right? General misconception, like we think that everyone will get angry, but we think that okay, some many people are there who don't get angry, very good people. But if you see our Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Supreme Lord Krishna also got angry, right? In the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he was the chariot driver of Arjuna. And one day, Bhishma was fighting from where he was attacking Arjuna, so that Arjuna was unable to counter his arrows. And at one stage, Arjuna was as if it's supposed to lose the fight with Bhishma. Then what Krishna did? He got angry and he took the wheel of the chariot. He was going towards Bhishma. So even Krishna got angry. And even if you see Lord Ram, when he was not giving the path to Lanka, thus he got angry on Samudra. Similarly, if you see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he got angry on Jagai Madai. Right? Even Srila Prabhupada also chastised his disciples and devotees, right? So anger is there. Everyone will get anger. But the important thing is, against whom you are, for certain points we need to consider. It is impossible to control anger. Everybody will get anger at one point of time. But the important point we need to consider is, against whom you are exhibiting your angerness. And what is the purpose of exhibiting angerness? And at what time? Purpose. So all these things, and the most important is proportionate in which you are exhibiting anger. So you need to see the person whom you are scolding or exhibiting anger, and the time, purpose, and apart from that, proportionate in which you are exhibiting anger. That is important. In all the pastimes we see here, Dhruva Maharaj is killing yakshas, but again it's a proportion is not. One yaksha killed, but he wanted, as a revenge, he wanted to wipe out complete yakshas. That is not a proportionate anger. Similarly, we would see Durvasa Muni also. So in all these things, we could see that everybody will get angry, but it should be in proper proportionate. That we cannot decide that, okay, I have to exhibit only this much anger. When you get anger, you will not be able to control those things. But the important point is we need to understand we should exhibit anger in a proportionate way, and the purpose, all these parameters we need to keep in our mind and exhibit. So how we get angry? From where we get angry? Right? We have a verse in Bhagavad Gita 337, right? Kamesha krodesha rajoguna samudbhava mahishana mahapapma vidhi enam hi iha vairinam, right? So the anger we get from is because of rajoguna we get anger. So the goodness, passion and ignorance. When due to passionate nature we get anger. And what will happen when we get angry? Then again Bhagavad Gita 16.21 is saying, right? Trividam narakashdedam dwaram nashanam atmana kama krodha stata loba tasmad etat trayam tyajet. So when these three, anger, kama, krodha, loba, three gates to hell. So one of the gates is like one of the root element is krodha. Anger is it will take you to the hell. So these are the various references. So one is when we are in the passionate rajoguna, anger will come. As a consequence of anger, we will go to the hellish planet. That is. But now, we need, in order to control our anger, in order to manage our anger. See, one thing is we cannot avoid completely anger. But when we get anger, we need to manage that anger properly so that it will not have any adverse effect. So, in this regard, we know that Rajoguna is the key thing, right? What are the scenarios, in a realistic, in a practical scenarios, where we will exhibit our angerness? There are various reasons in our day-to-day life we can observe that will trigger your angerness. So, the situation that will take you to the Rajoguna mode, that will take you to the passionate nature, then you will exhibit anger. There are so many scenarios, we'll go through it one by one, and then finally we'll see how we can handle those scenarios to control our anger. So first thing is unfulfilled expectations. So we have expectation, right? So when we deal with people, okay, this person should do like this. Okay, suppose if you are expecting you are expecting one devotee to come to the temple. If he is late, you have some expectation. Okay, he is coming, always comes late. He doesn't respect our timings. Like we are all thinking, right? But we don't know what is his situation. What was the reason for it? Without knowing, we have some expectation, and when the expectation is not fulfilled, we get anger. See, this anger is like a desire or related. Like we have a word Lakshman. In a Ramayana, Lakshman's name is Ramanuja. Anuja means younger brother of Rama. Similarly, this anger is like a Kamanuja. Kama is the desire, Anuja. If the younger brother of Kama is anger. How? If the Kama is not fulfilled, anger comes. So that is the relation. So it's like when you have an unexpected desire, like an unfulfilled desire is there, then you will get anger. So this is one of the trigger. So you need to be understand the opposite person fear situation, then you react it. But most of the times what we don't bother try to understand the situation, just we exhibit our anger. Second one is unrealistic expectations. We always think that, okay, if someone is talking to us, he always should treat truth. He should not lie to me. Or he should always respect me nicely. Right? This is what we expect. If something is, person is not doing, reciprocating in the same manner, we get angry. This is another triggering point. So we always have expectations, but and when our unrealistic expectations sometimes, I will explain why it is unrealistic expectation. It's not possible everyone treat you nicely, because this world dukkhalayam ashashvatam, right? It's full of miseries. This place itself is miseries. So everyone in this world who are living in this world, at some point of time, they will have this kind of and they will be acting under the maya, and they will behave in a different way. So it's not guaranteed that everyone will treat you nicely, everyone will respect you nicely, everyone will not tell you truth. So that is not practical, that is not possible. In this dukkhalayam ashashvatam, having an unrealistic expectation that everything should be proper with me, that is not possible. So when you are not able to realize, see that their expectations are not fulfilled, that will trigger your anger. So far we saw unrealistic, unfulfilled expectations. When your desires are not fulfilled, you will get angry. And the second one is unrealistic expectations. So you should need to see the expectations. Your expectations should be more realistic, not unrealistic. You need to understand the situation, and be accordingly you expect things to happen. Wrong assumptions. Sometimes, most of the times, we see the people, and based on the face value, we make certain assumptions. There is a nice story, like Her Grace Nitai Sevini Mataji was telling in his lecture. Once she was traveling in India from Coimbatore to Visakhapatnam, where she lives. So in the flight, she was having the flight journey. In the flight next to her, in the next two seats, one couple sitting with her baby. And entire journey, the baby was crying, and the husband is taking care of the baby, while the wife is sleeping in the next seat. So Mataji was thinking, when the kid is not comfortable in the flight journey, and he was crying, and the husband is completely taking care of everything, and the wife is happily sleeping. Mataji was thinking, how can this mother can sleep nicely when her husband is struggling? So it continued, and when the journey came to the end, when they reached the destination, and Mataji was they told Hare Krishna, and Mataji also reciprocating. And she asked that husband, you are very good father. Then the husband, the father told, yes Mataji, I am very good father, but my wife is more better mother than, I am a good father, but my wife is more better the mother. Then Mataji was surprised. What happened? Then the husband was explaining, 3 days back, the baby was having viral fever. And 3 days, the baby was not sleeping, and mother was completely awake. She was taking care. Now she was settled, and they are going back to their home place. So now she was taking rest, and the husband is sleeping. So sometimes what we see, just by seeing things, we make incorrect assumptions. That will trigger our anger. So we need to be more realistic. We need to understand the situation, and then accordingly, when we know that way, like suppose imagine if the Mataji is just devotee, there is a senior devotee, she is normal. But if suppose instead of Mataji, Nitai Sevini Mataji, some other old person was sitting next to them, then what would have happened? Imagine, that person will definitely get angry, and they will shout or something. Like it, in Indian context, it can happen, right? So we can see that how people may, there is a chance that definitely if other person is sitting, he would have blasphemed, chastised that mother, how can you sleep when your baby is crying, like that people would have told, right? But so this is what, we cannot make assumptions just like that. We need to understand the underlying reasons. Then you will not be able to get into the anger. So conditioning is another reason is, we always condition to do in a particular way. So, suppose if you are making some sabji or dal, it has to be like this, it has to look like this, right? We have so many requirements. So, if other person is not able to do in the same way, immediately we get angry, right? So, that is what we always condition to do in such a way, and and when other people are not meeting our expectation, the way we are anticipating, then again it will trigger anger. So, this is another thing. Non-communication. So, without not having proper communication is another reason. One example is, if two boys are fighting for one orange, and generally our situation is, okay, we'll take the orange, we'll make it into half, we'll give it to two pieces. One piece to one boy, so that way we'll try to. That is our basic thing, right? But if you talk to them and ask them why they are fighting, they need an orange, but what purpose? One boy wanted to take only skin of the orange, with that he will do some experiment, something he wanted to play around. Other boy wanted actual fruit inside the orange pulp, right? When you talk to them, you will get to know what is their expectation. Unless you talk, without knowing and talking to them, just simply cut the fruit into two pieces and give, that is not this is our conditioned nature, right? So we always need to talk to them. We need to understand them. What is the reason why this is happening, why this incident is happening? If we don't understand, it will always lead to trigger anger. So, and this is one of the examples. And another story is like, there's one husband and wife, they got newly married, and husband, they don't know each other. So in the house, husband was telling, okay, give me coffee, otherwise he will stop, he will not say anything. And for everything he will ask something otherwise. Then this wife was struggling. Why? Otherwise means what is going to do? Then he was thinking that since they don't know each other, she was struggling to what he's going to do. Then one day she said, okay, please make hot water ready for my bath. The husband told. Otherwise, he said. Then my wife asked, otherwise what will you do? Then husband told, I will take cold water. So this is the communication is important. We think that without knowing, based on certain words, we make some assumptions and we try to develop a negative opinion, or that leads to anger, right? So we always should think communication is important. That will avoid anger in majority cases. And non-acceptance of the situation, right? So most of the times what will happen, we will have some plan. If our plans are aligned to Krishna's plan, things will go properly. But if our plans are not aligned to Krishna's plan, what will happen? Our plans will fail, Krishna's plans will happen. Then what will happen? We get angry, right? If things are not happening according to. So, but what is the main thing? We need to accept the situation. Krishna is the controller, right? He is the main proprietor of everything. When you know the philosophical scriptural knowledge, then you will know that, okay, everything is caused by, Krishna is the cause of all causes, right? When you know that fact, when you accept the situation, you can overcome this anger. And tendency to enjoy, that is another factor. If we try to enjoy, again, if you are unable to enjoy, that leads to anger, right? See, if you see the 6th canto, Druma, Yamadutas, right? When Ajamil passed time, Yamadutas went to Yamadharmaraj and asked, we thought you are controlling everything. All people, you are under everyone, all the living entities under your jurisdiction. But today we got to know that these people are not under your control. Then Yamadharmaraj is telling that, yes, except Krishna, Krishna devotees are not under my jurisdiction. Right? Even Yamadharmaraj himself is not having full control, and we are thinking that, we are anticipating that we need to control everything, right? So, having the right expectation, we have a tendency to enjoy and with being a controller, and then we think that, okay, everything should happen, I am the controller. Like Hiranyakashipu example. What is the Hiranyakashipu? He was controlling all the demigods. Sun, moon, everybody, Shani, all the demigods are staying under him. If you say sun, to get and rise today, and the sun, then immediately sun will rise. If you say sun to set down, then he will set down. If you ask moon, everyone will be acting under his guidance. Such is the powerful Hiranyakashipu. But what is the happened? Hiranyakashipu, Prahalad Maharaj, his small boy, he was not accepting his orders. As a result, he got angry. Right? So you try to control everything. When you fail, when you are unable to control, then you will get angry. Unhealthy comparison. The second one, this is another reason for getting the angry. Unhealthy comparison means, see, example is again, the Mataji was explaining, Mataji. So, like he was saying, women, like there is a, like woman and men and women are two different in nature, right? Women, like, I'll always will think in a process oriented way. Men are goal oriented. But when you see that, don't think that it is a problem with each other. If the woman is only goal oriented, process oriented, man is not only goal oriented, that is not the problem. Don't take it as a problem. That is it's their nature. Try to accept it, accommodate those natures. So each one will have a different attitude and accept it and take it and move on. If you think that, okay, I am the goal oriented person, and if other person is not goal oriented, if he is not behaving accordingly, again you will get into anger. Right? So these are various triggering points where we will get anger. Wrong definition of success. This is another. The success is we always look for success. But when we don't get the required results, then we get angry. So actually, what is the main reason? Definition of success itself is not proper in most of the cases. Like one example, in Indian context it happens, right? This happened really. One girl committed suicide. The reason is, she got 97% in score. She was expecting 99% and she wanted to be top. Since that did not happen, she committed suicide. So the definition of success is important. But unless we know the proper, understand what is the meaning of success. See, like many people try to get, like if you see any competitions, Olympics happened recently. Everyone will try to get gold medal, silver medal. They will aim for gold medal. If not, they will be happy with the silver. If not, they will be happy with the bronze medal. Or any competition, you wanted to be 1, 2, 3, top 3 positions, right? That would be our definition of success. But we need to definition of success is not, we need to go a little bit broader, right? We need to think that, okay, getting the opportunity itself is a success. So you are representing your country to participate in the Olympics. That itself is a success. So many people are there in this world, very few people are getting chance to participate in such competition. That itself is a success. You need to define the success properly. So incorrect definition leads to anger. So these are all various triggering points which will bring you to the passionate Rajoguna, and that will you will express anger. And what are the remedies which we can think about it? Like in line to the Prabhupada mentioned, right? Constantly hearing, that is reading the scriptures, constantly hearing Krishna Katha is one of the important things. When you keep on reading the Krishna Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, there are so many pastimes, so many different devotees exhibited differently. When you see them, how they are behaving in different situations, we will understand, and then we will remember that when such situations come, when we constantly hear, it will be there in our mind, our consciousness, it will have that impact, and then when we are facing situations, we will be able to overcome. Like another thing is example, association with the right-minded, correct people. You need to have always association with a good, proper devotees. Example in case of Prahalad Maharaj pastime, Dhruva Maharaj pastime. See, association with the Surichi, the stepmother, it completely, the bad thing came out from the Dhruva Maharaj. But association with the Suniti, his mother, completely got good behavior, right? So, bringing the best, the right association brings the best from you. Like in case of Surichi, the stepmother insulted, and she told, okay, you go to forest and do the tapasya, in the next life you will get your take birth in my womb. But Suniti told, she controlled the anger of Dhruva Maharaj, and she told, okay, you go to Dhruva Maharaj, your forefathers, their grandfathers did the same way, they did tapasya to Vishnu, you go there and do that. So, association brings best from you. That is important thing. So you need to have that is where in our community, the devotee association is very important. It will bring best out of you. So constantly reading the scriptures and association, right? To people, the way with whom you are associating, accordingly your inherent internal nature will manifest. And taking proper diet, sattvic food is also important. If you too much spicy food or any masala thing, then you will be having the same passionate nature. Then you will be easily trapping into the anger. So another important points which we can control anger is the associating with the devotees, reading the scriptures, that is a spiritual platform, like a spiritual context. But in a day-to-day normal materially also, how you can deal with, right? Whenever you get anger, instead of exhibiting your anger on other person, you try to write. You exhibit your anger and by writing. You do keep on writing that. What will happen? Instead of exhibiting your anger on other person, you write for 3 minutes. In 5 minutes, 6 minutes or 10 minutes time, your mind will change. There is always a storm and the calm down moment, right? So when anger comes, it's like a storm. And after to divert that storm, the situation, you instead of exhibiting anger on other person, try to write on a paper or make a journal or make a diary and write everything. Then what will happen after 5 minutes? When you write all the things, after 1 week, 10 days, you read all the things what you have written during the time when you were angry. You will think that, oh, these things are very silly. These are not very appropriate. Even I am wrong. That person if I am in that person's shoe, I would have done same thing, right? That kind of things will come. So you always practice writing, write things when you are in angry rather than exhibiting. Always pause. When you get angry, try to divert your mind. Don't directly deal with them. Try to avoid and take something else, right? So once situation is calmed down, then you take the things. And Jiva Goswami mentioned a very nice statement. Said, all the people around you are good, but they behave with you badly because of our bad karma. So don't think that the other person is causing you trouble. Because of our karma, we are having the problems. Because of our bad karma, the other person became an instrument to provoke you, to generate anger in you, right? So this is the important thing. So these are all the various points, and give always the benefit of doubt. Don't come to the conclusion. As I mentioned earlier, if some person is coming late to the service, try to understand, ask him what is the situation, why it was. There could be genuine reasons, right? So always give a benefit of doubt. Instead of making a right conclusion, jumping into the conclusion and chastising or criticizing, you always try to give a benefit of doubt and try to analyze the situation. So these are the various things. So some of the important points, if we revise, what are the important points to manage our anger? So reading the Shastras and associating with the devotees, having sattvic food and diverting your mind. Write down instead of exhibiting your anger on people, try to maintain a diary or journal, exhibit anger. When you read after some time, you feel that, okay, there will be definitely, you find points where you are not, from your side, there will be definitely something not correct. And tolerate. This is another story which Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, right? Tolerant. There are certain levels of tolerance. The snake and Narada Muni past story where Prabhupada mentioned. This is another is tolerant. But if you cannot tolerate, you are tolerating such that other people are taking advantage. But what the Narada Muni is suggesting to snake, you don't bite, but open your hood and hiss. Then people will run away, right? So this is how we need to, don't exhibit your anger properly, but at least try to exhibit in such a way that they will not take the benefit from you. They will don't take the advantage of your nature, right? So these are various things which in line to this purport I thought of communicating. I will conclude here. Any comments, any questions? Yes, please. So what was, I didn't get you the form.
He actually mentioned that it is just not the affection towards his brother, younger brother, but also he received complaints about yakshas.
Okay.
That, they're actually...
I think, yeah, but in this, in relation to this pastime, we didn't have, maybe in some other cantos it must be there, but in relation to this, yeah. Nice point. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय.
their will is non-different from Krishna's will. So therefore, if we know that Krishna is, the inconceivable supreme energy time, one of the functions of time is also that he's going to have Krishna consciousness spread everywhere. So how do we become nimitta matra in this case? We can recognize that our contribution to the will of the Lord is to give Krishna consciousness everywhere. Whatever effort that we put in, whether it be garland service or whether it be book distribution or bhakti lounge, right? These are all us participating in the will of the Lord. No, it's really true, because the will of the Lord is the will of the spiritual master. That is how it is. And again, how that will manifests, we have our vision of it. We will have this